Guys, today we are going to make chocolate mint cake with amazing, unique chocolate mint decoration. If you think that you don't like a combination of meat and chocolate, so try this cake. I made a live class with this flavor, exactly with this cake, and I received a lot of feedbacks that, you know, Olga, usually we don't like mint and chocolate, it always tastes so weird, but this cake is amazing. And I'll tell you why, because usually when you try mint flavors, those desserts are infused with a lot of artificial, not natural flavors, something like essential oils, but it's not mint. We're going to use with you a lot of really fresh mint leaves. So that's why it will be totally different mint flavor, mint taste, and I promise you, you will be very, very surprised to feel it and to understand how it's delicious. And of course, chocolate and mint, it's so classic combination that it should be on this channel. And remember, all our cakes are plant-based, gluten-free, soy-free, and refined sugar-free. So let's get started. Regarding the mold, I'm going to make a small cake. It's 6 inches cake, so I'm going to use my mold, and you have a video about molds. Also, I usually put acetate strip inside of all my molds, but this cake will be challenging, and I will show you how to remove frozen cakes, raw cakes from the molds without acetate strip. So that's why I will not be using acetate strip, but for you, if you already know how it's so useful and helpful. Okay, so I prepared my 6 inches mold, and now let's talk about crust. For the crust, I'm going to use quite classic flavor combination, but instead of dates, I'm going to use raisins. So I soak them for about 20 minutes in hot water. Also, I have raw almonds and a little bit of cacao powder to make our crust very, very chocolate. Now I need a boiling water, and I'm going to pour it here into my nuts. I always do it with all my nuts, raw nuts, but be honest, into my store and in my online school, I teach my students how to soak and sprout and activate nuts. It's a long process, it makes nuts more nutritious, but if you are on rush and never thought about such deep things into your diet, just please always clean your nuts. So I do it like here, so I just pour boiling water just for about 1 minute, you saw while we talked, and now I rinse my nuts with the cold water. In this situation, first of all we cleaned our nuts, so they become super good for your family, for your kids, and you know, you never know how these nuts were stored, and especially if you buy them in bulk, it's better to clean these nuts. So we wash fruits and vegetables, so why we don't wash nuts? But still, nuts are raw because we didn't boil it, so it was like just hot water, but we didn't leave our nuts for a long time into hot water, so that's why the nuts still raw and they will be crunchy and super clean. This is what I'm doing to remove extra water. It's optional, you can skip it, because anyway we have some water into our raisins. And let's grab our food processor. Now we put all our nuts in the food processor. Perfect, and we put our cacao powder. I'm going to crush my nuts a few times, so just like 5-7 times. Let's see. Yeah, we have like medium and small pieces of almonds, and this is what I wanted to get. So I want to fill almonds into my crust, and I put my raisins. Let's blend constantly right now. You can massage your butter by hands to be sure that each nut is covered with raisins. And now we put everything in the bottom and we create flat crust, flat layer. Just press with your fingers and create one layer. Try do not make dirty the borders of your ring or your mold. Why? Because next layer will be light color, it will be mint color, and if you have dirty borders, so you will have dirty borders of your cake. Also color it with chocolate, with cacao powder. So here you are. This is our crust. Let's grab a piece of paper and try to clean our borders. And if I see that I make dirty my borders very much, I just wipe it. It's not necessary. It's just I show you the option how to make your cake look beautiful. Now we need high-speed blender. And we will talk about our first layer, first mint layer for this cake. So we put first our cashews into our jar. Next ingredient is very important. It's fresh mint leaves, and I put for you 30 grams. It's really a lot, so you can see that it's like a lot of mints. And please do not put less. Then we need to add our sweetener. You can use maple syrup, agave nectar, honey, brown rice syrup here would be work also, very good. We need to put a little bit of water. We have salt. And now we talk about coconut oil and also cacao butter. Cacao butter I measured and now I'm going to melt it using a double boiler method. Coconut oil is not measured, I'm going to melt it right now. How to work with coconut oil, cacao butter and coconut butter, I have a separate video, so you can watch in more details why I do and why I do these things and why I melt in this way. But now I'm going to melt it using my microwave. So here you are, here is my coconut oil, and now I can measure it. So this amount of coconut oil I need to add later. My cacao butter is continuing to melt. Now I want to blend everything, so just want to emphasize that coconut. So we process these mint leaves. Once your blender got stuck, you need to stop and open the blade. And continue. You can really stop a few times. If you have a not so powerful blender, less than 1000 watts, I can allow you to add from 1 to 2 tablespoons of water, but this may cause on the final texture. So if you can process it in this quantity of ingredients, it would be perfect. So as you saw, we stopped 2 times to open the blade, and then blender was able to blend everything into this beautiful green texture. And also I blended quite long time for Vitamix because I wanted to crush the leaves, so I don't want to see like the pieces. Nobody should guess what is inside before they taste it. Now, using a low speed, let's add our oils. That is all. We finished. We've got a very beautiful consistency. It smells super minty, and now it will be our first layer. I want to measure how many grams I pour. So let's see. So it's something like 350 grams. The cream is not crazy thick. Sometimes I show you recipes with a very thick texture, so that's why when I told you to add like 1-2 tablespoons of water, it's like if your blender really can't blend. So try to process this leaf, so your blender gets stuck just because of a lot of fresh mint leaves. So be patient, so blend it good. Now we need a towel. Let's grab this one, and we tap a few times to make it flat. So you see, I don't use any spatula. So here you are. This is our first layer. I'm going to move it to the freezer for about 40 minutes, 40-60 minutes. And meanwhile, we will be working on our... Okay, let's continue. So I do not clean my jar, and even though I have some leftovers of my mint cream, it's totally okay. So our chocolate layer will have such a hint of mint. Then all steps are completely familiar to you, so we put our cashews soaked and rinsed and very clean. Then I add cacao powder, so we create chocolate flavor, a little bit of salt, our sweetener, some water. And in this situation we need to use vanilla extract, and if you ever meet in my recipes vanilla extract, I highly recommend to use it. Vanilla, it's not mint extract, so it creates additional sweet and amazing flavor. So I love to use a real vanilla, if it's only real, not imitation. Also, I melted my cacao butter. Cacao butter will boost our chocolate flavor in this cake, and we have measured coconut oil. Now the process like usual, we blend everything, receive a smooth consistency, and then slowly adding our oils. We finished. I will show you the texture. It is super silky and smooth. So I love this cream very much. What we do next? So I leave my jar on the counter until we have like 1 hour since we put our first layer in the freezer, and then we will pour 350 grams on top of that layer. And I will show you what we do with leftovers. Now we're going to make our beautiful decoration. For this we need fresh mint leaves and a little bit of chocolate. Of course, I will give you the recipe of my own chocolate, and good news, you honestly don't need to temper this chocolate. You need about like 70 grams of melted chocolate. Let's also show you the temperature for those who would ask. So it's about 85-86 Fahrenheit, so while we will be working it will drop down up to 84 Fahrenheit. It's perfect temperature, the chocolate is not so liquid, so it should be everything perfect. Now we need to find the most beautiful leaves for our decoration. There is no any tips for this, so just choose those leaves that you want to have. To paint our mint leaves with chocolate, we need, of course, a brush. You can find any brush. I will give you some tips on Amazon, links to Amazon, and also you need a silicone mat, or also it can be a parchment paper. Now you just need to arrange leaves on this silicone mat or parchment paper. And the best moment ever. Here's our chocolate, here's our brush. And everything is super easy. Just paint it. If you think that it's too complicated, so don't think so. After making a live class on my Instagram with this cake, a lot of girls made it. And I want to tell you that mint leaves with a crunchy chocolate, it's so delicious. If you want, you can make a second layer of the chocolate, so it's up to you. If you see that some leaves do not have enough chocolate, you can add a little bit more. We finished. Now we move it to refrigerator, so our leaves with chocolate should set, and then we continue to decorate it. Meanwhile, we can unmold our cake. So we unmolded our cake, it's perfect. Let's put it here, and now we need to grab from our refrigerator the cream, leftovers of cream that we put into piping bag, and let's see if our leaves became crunchy and chocolate. Let's start with cream. So if you start touching it, it is quite cold. It's soft, but it's cold and it will be hard to squeeze it on top of our cake. Why we need these leftovers? So it will be the main cream for sticking our leaves with our cake. So this is the reason why we use it. How to make it more soft? Yeah, just warm up it into your hands. You also can leave it just in room temperature for about like 15-20 minutes and it will be okay for using. If you're on rush, just warm it up with your hands, just like 2 minutes, and it will be ready to go. So the cream became quite soft. Let's take our cake here, our leaves and some other green leaves that we will be adding like accents. We need to cut a little bit our piping bag. And now we make a first circle with our cream. We make it from the bigger radius. And we start from the biggest leaves. So you may see that I arrange my leaves so that nobody see the cream under our leaves. So let's make the second layer. And now we can add a little bit of green leaves. Okay, next layer. Okay. So here you are. This is our super fluffy, beautiful mint chocolate flower. So guys, we finished. We have such amazing artisan cake. I promise it is super delicious because a lot of feedbacks I've got after making a live class many months ago, and you saw that it is so easy to do, and maybe you will spend a little bit more time for decoration instead of the main cake, but make it. I'm sure you will never find such cake for sales, and it's really very easy to do. You saw how easy to do, and impress your family and impress somebody who you want to gift this cake, and of course enjoy, because it's the most healthiest mint chocolate cake ever. So thank you for being with me, and let me know any other ideas